The most probable cause of blown isolation transformers, specifically when equipment is connected to the output winding, is a ground fault within that equipment. When equipment is plugged into the output, the circuit for a pre-existing ground fault is completed. It is crucial to ensure that all equipment connected to the transformers is properly grounded to the bus. A ground fault can arise from several scenarios. Firstly, a break in the ground wire of the equipment. Secondly, improper bonding of the equipment to the bus. And thirdly, internal component failure within the connected device, creating a path to ground. To systematically address this issue, several diagnostic steps can be taken. Firstly, carefully inspect the grounding system of each piece of equipment that is being plugged into the isolation transformer. Use a multimeter to verify the continuity of the ground wire from the equipment chassis to the ground pin of the plug. A reading of near 0 ohms indicates a good connection, while an open circuit suggests a break in the ground path. Secondly, confirm that the equipment is properly bonded to the electrical bus. Bonding ensures that all metallic parts of the electrical system are at the same potential, minimizing the risk of ground loops and stray currents. Check the bonding connections at the service panel and any subpanels to ensure they are tight and corrosion-free. Thirdly, isolate each piece of equipment and test it individually with the isolation transformer. This can help to identify which device is causing the ground fault. Connect one piece of equipment at a time and observe if the transformer blows the ground. If a specific piece of equipment consistently causes the issue, it is likely the source of the problem. Fourthly, perform an insulation resistance test on the equipment. This test measures the resistance between the equipment's conductors and ground, providing an indication of the integrity of the insulation. A low insulation resistance value suggests a potential ground fault. Use a megometer, also known as a megger, to perform this test. Disconnect the equipment from the power source and connect the megger leads between the conductors and ground. A reading of at least 1 megohm is typically considered acceptable. Fifthly, examine the wiring within the equipment for any signs of damage or degradation. Look for frayed wires, loose connections, and signs of overheating. Repair or replace any damaged wiring to eliminate potential ground fault paths. Sixthly, consider the possibility of neutral ground bonding issues. In a properly wired system, the neutral and ground should only be bonded to the service entrance. If the neutral and ground are bonded at multiple locations, it can create circulating currents and increase the risk of ground faults. Verify that the neutral and ground are only bonded at the main service panel. Seventhly, investigate the isolation transformers themselves. While less likely if multiple transformers exhibit the same issue, there remains a possibility that the transformers are defective. Perform an insulation resistance test on the transformer windings to check for shorts to ground. Disconnect the transformer from the power source and connect the megger leads between each winding and the transformer's case. A low insulation resistance value indicates a potential internal fault. Eighthly, ensure that the voltage rating of the isolation transformers is appropriate for the application. Using a transformer with an incorrect voltage rating can lead to overheating and premature failure. Check the transformer's nameplate for the voltage rating and confirm that it matches the supply voltage. Ninthly, verify that the load connected to the isolation transformer is within the transformer's rated capacity. Overloading the transformer can cause it to overheat and fail. Check the transformer's nameplate for the volt ampere or kilowatt rating and ensure that the connected load does not exceed this value. Tenthly, examine the environment where the isolation transformers are installed. Excessive heat, humidity, or corrosive environments can degrade the transformer's insulation and increase the risk of failure. Ensure that the transformers are installed in a clean, dry, and well-ventilated location. In summary, troubleshooting blown isolation transformers requires a systematic approach that includes firstly, checking the grounding of connected equipment, secondly, verifying proper bonding, thirdly, isolating equipment to identify the source of the fault, fourthly, performing insulation resistance tests, fifthly, inspecting wiring for damage, sixthly, addressing potential neutral ground bonding issues, seventhly, testing the isolation transformers themselves, eighthly, ensuring proper voltage rating, ninthly, verifying load capacity, and 10thly, examining the operating environment. By carefully following these steps, the root cause of the problem can be identified and resolved. Now let's discuss some specific scenarios that might be contributing to the problem. Firstly, consider the type of equipment being connected to the isolation transformers. Some equipment, such as variable frequency drives or switching power supplies, can generate significant harmonic currents. These harmonic currents can overload the transformer and cause it to overheat. If harmonic currents are suspected, a harmonic analysis can be performed to measure the levels of different harmonic frequencies. Mitigation techniques such as harmonic filters may be necessary to reduce the harmonic currents and protect the transformer. Secondly, examine the wiring practices in the electrical system. Improper wiring, such as loose connections or undersized conductors, can create voltage drops and increase the risk of ground faults. Ensure that all wiring is installed according to applicable electrical codes and standards. Thirdly, consider the grounding electrode system. A properly installed and maintained grounding electrode system is essential for providing a low impedance path for fault currents. Check the grounding electrode system to ensure that it is in good condition and meets the requirements of the electrical code. Fourthly, investigate the possibility of transient voltage surges. Transient voltage surges, such as those caused by lightning or switching events, can damage electrical equipment, including isolation transformers. Surge protection devices can be installed to protect against transient voltage surges. Fifthly, consider the age and condition of the electrical system. Over time, electrical components can degrade and become more susceptible to failure. If the electrical system is old or poorly maintained, it may be necessary to upgrade or replace certain components to improve reliability. Sixthly, check for any signs of water damage or moisture intrusion. Water can create conductive paths and increase the risk of ground faults. If water damage is present, it should be repaired immediately and the affected equipment should be inspected and tested. Seventhly, ensure that the isolation transformers are properly ventilated. Overheating can significantly reduce the lifespan of electrical equipment. Check the ventilation around the transformers to ensure that there is adequate airflow. Eighthly, consider the possibility of electromagnetic interference. Electromagnetic interference can disrupt the operation of electrical equipment and cause malfunctions. Shielding and filtering techniques can be used to mitigate electromagnetic interference. Ninthly, examine the control wiring associated with the equipment connected to the isolation transformers. Faulty control wiring can create unintended current paths and lead to ground faults. Ensure that all control wiring is properly installed and insulated. Tenthly, consider the impact of any recent changes or modifications to the electrical system. New equipment or wiring changes can sometimes introduce unexpected problems. Review any recent changes to the electrical system to see if they might be contributing to the ground fault issue. In conclusion, identifying the root cause of blown isolation transformers requires a thorough understanding of electrical systems and a systematic approach to troubleshooting. By following the steps outlined above and considering the various scenarios that could be contributing to the problem, the issue can be resolved and future failures can be prevented. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical equipment and consult with a qualified electrician if needed. If you have verified the grounding system of the equipment plugged into the output of the isolation transformer, the bonding to the electrical bus, performed insulation resistance tests, inspected the wiring for damage, addressed any potential neutral ground bonding issues, and verified the transformer's voltage rating and load capacity, and the problem persists across multiple transformers, it is important to re-evaluate the power quality of the bus itself. A high impedance ground on the bus could be present. To check this, a qualified electrician should measure the impedance to ground at various points along the bus. High impedance can limit the fault current, potentially preventing overcurrent protection devices from tripping and allowing a ground fault to persist and damage equipment. Another possibility is voltage imbalance. Significant voltage imbalance on the bus can cause excessive current in one or more phases, potentially overloading the isolation transformer. Voltage imbalance can be measured using a power quality analyzer. If the voltage imbalance exceeds acceptable limits, the cause of the imbalance needs to be identified and corrected. Sources of voltage imbalance include uneven loading across phases, faulty transformers, and loose connections. A further consideration is the presence of DC voltage on the bus. DC voltage can saturate the core of the isolation transformer, leading to overheating and failure. DC voltage can be measured using a multimeter set to DC voltage mode. If DC voltage is present, the source of the DC voltage needs to be identified and eliminated. Potential sources of DC voltage include rectifiers, batteries, and solar panels. Also consider the inrush current. Isolation transformers, like other transformers, can experience high inrush currents when initially energized. These inrush currents can be several times higher than the transformer's rated current. If the bus is not able to supply the inrush current, the transformer may not energize properly or may be damaged. The size of the transformer should be chosen to handle the load. Inrush current can be mitigated by using a soft start circuit or a current limiting device. Finally, check the nameplate data. Verify the isolation transformer specifications against the requirements of the connected equipment. Mismatch voltage ratings, frequency requirements, or impedance levels can all contribute to premature transformer failure. A thorough review of all electrical parameters is essential to ensure compatibility. Remember to always follow proper safety procedures when working with electrical equipment and consult with a qualified electrician if needed.